Welcome to Capitalize Your Finances, the podcast that's your ultimate guide to mastering personal finances and unlocking the secrets of entrepreneurship. Each week, we dive into the world of personal finance and business development and have fascinating conversations with industry experts, seasoned entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who share their insights, strategies, and stories to help you get ahead in life. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur looking to scale your business or someone just starting out on your financial path, this podcast is your go-to resource for inspiration and actionable insights.
Welcome back to Capitalize Your Finances. As always, I'm your host, Chris Frey Poniotu, certified financial planning professional, the Cap and Capitalize. And on today's episode, I'm going to get into why Americans are actually broke. But before we get into today's episode, the free advice for the week. For every problem, there is a solution. Don't default to a victim mentality. If you want to be successful in life, train yourself to solely focus on the solution. Now, I want to get into why Americans are actually broke. And this episode is going to hit a lot of fellow Americans, but have no fear. Have no fear, as throughout today's episode, I'm going to list the top 8 reasons why people are broke. But because I'm that nice of a guy, I'm going to tell you how to not fall for any of these 8 traps, pitfalls, unfortunate circumstances, you name it. So the first one, wage growth hasn't kept up with costs. So the problem, your income simply isn't rising as fast as your expenses. Now, how do you correct that? Well, there's a number of different reasons, or number of different avenues that you can go about doing so. The first one, focused on skill stacking. So if you combine 2 to 3 valuable skills like sales or tech or AI plus marketing or trades plus a business or business in the trades. Another way you could correct it is negotiate your salary every 1 to 2 years. Most people don't. You could switch companies strategically. Big raises often come from moving, maybe a signing bonus. You could build a side income stream that isn't tied to hourly work. But again, don't get too overly excited about that. For those of you that listened into this podcast for many years, you know how I feel about side incomes or side hustles. And the last one, track your income per hour and constantly look to increase that income per hour. So the second reason why Americans are actually broke, housing is extremely expensive. This one's pretty cut and dry. The problem, rent in mortgage eats up 30 to 50% of the average American's income. Now, how do you correct that? You can house hack. So rent out rooms. You could create an ADU, maybe a duplex strategy. That's like one of the oldest tricks in the book. You could consider a lower cost area if remote work allows it. You could delay buying if it stretches you thin. You could keep housing under 30% of gross income when possible. I know the rule is with mortgages, 28% of your gross monthly income or below is what your mortgage should come out to be. But obviously, the lower the better. If renting, you can negotiate renewals. Many don't even think about trying it. Wouldn't hurt. And then the last one, delayed gratification. Doesn't get as simple as that. Number 3, healthcare costs are high. Well, the problem's pretty obvious. Medical bills obliterate savings, but there are ways to correct that. The first one, you can use an HSA, a health savings account, if eligible. And there's a triple tax advantage to that. You get a deduction when you contribute during that day, on that day. The money, if you're investing it, which you probably should be, grows tax deferred. And then if the money is spent on qualified medical expenses, there is a laundry list of options out there. All of those gains are tax-free. In the coming weeks, I'm actually going to be, or coming months, it's on our to-do list. I'm going to actually do an episode on a deep dive on everything you need to know about health savings accounts. So make sure you tune in for that one. But HSA is an option. Another way to correct or prevent the healthcare costs being super high. Always ask for an itemized bill. There's some tax benefits with that. You can negotiate larger bills. Hospitals often will reduce them or give you a lower rate. You can maintain emergency funds specifically for health issues, so above and beyond your 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. And then the last one, invest in preventative health, so sleep, fitness, diet. In the long-term ROI for investing in your health is going to be massive. So the fourth reason why Americans are actually broke, student loan debt. And there's a huge problem with that because monthly payments limit financial flexibility. I get it, but there are ways to correct that. Most popular, you could refinance if rates are high. Again, if you're eligible to do so. You could consider income-driven repayment strategically. You could pay off highest interest debts first, again, if eligible and able to do so. You could increase income instead of only focusing on cutting expenses. A lot of people like to pinch pennies instead of focus on making more dollars. The saying, penny wise, pound foolish. So that one's like the easiest one out of all of these. And then the last one, avoid new unnecessary certifications that add debt without an ROI. So before we get into the commercial break, I have to hit that home. If you are thinking about getting into college or trades, really anything that requires money to put down to go to whatever that is, ask yourself and calculate what the return on investment will be. Ask yourself that. Because if you're not asking yourself that, you are doing it, you're throwing money just into the wind, which is absolutely ridiculous. So when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to get into the fifth reason of why Americans are actually broke. And you're going to want to listen to this one, and it will hurt. But as always, I'm going to tell you how to avoid it. So don't go anywhere. Stick around.
Are you ready to transform the way you approach sales? This episode is sponsored by the second book in the Capitalize series, Capitalize Your Sales, the all-in-one sales framework that saves you from ever struggling again and teaches you how to sell with sincerity, which dives deep into the art and science of driving sustainable growth. Packed with strategies that go beyond surface-level techniques, this book will help you understand what it takes to truly connect with clients, build long-term relationships, and close deals. Whether you're looking to fine-tune your sales craft or break through to the next level, Capitalize Your Sales offers a roadmap to success designed for today's fast-paced business world. Head on over to your favorite bookstore, order today, and start capitalizing your sales immediately. And now, back to the episode.
Welcome back from the commercial break. We're going to get right into number 5 in terms of the reasons why Americans are actually broke, which is consumer debt and easy credit. So the problem, high interest debt compounds against you. That hurts. There are easy ways to correct that. You can stop using credit cards unless they're paid off in full on a monthly basis. You could automate extra payments toward high interest debt, the highest interest rate debt. You could sell unused items to create lump sum payoffs. You could avoid financing depreciating assets, cars especially. And if needed, you could consolidate to lower interest rate options. So out of all of these so far, this is the easiest one to correct. The sixth reason why Americans are actually broke, inflation on essentials. And the problem with this, food, insurance, utilities, gas, it's all up, and it's kept going up. Really especially since COVID, but like inflation is what it is. Okay. It's never really going to go away unless you live in like Japan. But there are ways to correct it. Requote your insurance annually. You could audit subscriptions every 3 to 6 months. So go if you have a credit card or debit card statement, look at what you're spending automatically every month. Ask yourself if you're using it. If not, take a little bit of time and go and cancel it. Voila, you just freed up some cash flow. You could buy staples in bulk when practical. Now, I'm not saying like staples, like stapling, like needed items. Okay. Probably just buying staples, literally staples in bulk would do a disservice to you. But anyways, you could increase your income faster than inflation, upskilling. And you could also build investments that outpace inflation. And what do we mean by that? Obviously, that means investing in long-term assets like the stock market, real estate, private equity, credit, things of that nature. All the things that are in, of course, my first book, Capitalize Your Finances, which is available on capitalizepodcast.com under products. If you have not bought it already, you need to go there and check it out. And if you have bought it, thank you. And make sure you reread the part that I talk about long-term investments. You're welcome in advance. The seventh reason why Americans are actually broke: lifestyle inflation and social pressure. The problem is obvious. Spending rises with income, and you try to keep up with the Joneses. Do not do that. There are many ways to correct it, but the easiest ones: increase your savings rate every time your income rises. That is the easiest trick in the book. Another one: automate investing before money hits your checking account. You can delay major purchases 30 days. And again, delayed gratification is going to be a huge ticket for the majority of you listening to this. And then the last one: define your actual values versus your Instagram values. And you know exactly what I mean by that. Now, the last major reason, because there's actually a laundry list more, but these are the most important reasons why Americans are actually broke. Number 8, low financial literacy and lack of investing. The problem: money does not compound without knowledge. It's just the way of the world. How do you correct it? I mean, the easiest one: keep listening to this show. You can contribute consistently to your 401k, if you have one, IRA, a brokerage account. Study compound interest. Another tip is read to 1 to 2 finance books per year. Of course, starting with my first one. But there are a ton of books out there. I've had guests on this show that have been authors in investing, in business, in personal finance. The list goes on and on and on. And then lastly, and this one sounds really easy, because it kind of is, because it's your choice, but it's incredibly valuable: surround yourself with financially disciplined people. And there's a difference between being financially disciplined and being financially successful. There's a lot of similarities, but some people that are financially successful, it's rare, but sometimes they were born into it. And they didn't necessarily have to do the things to get to being financially successful. Like, they are successful. I'm not saying that those that inherited money are not financially successful and prudent and all that, but financially disciplined people, it's a lot harder to argue against. And so go with discipline 10 out of 10 times. So what's the conclusion here with this episode? The average American earns linear income. They spend based on emotion. That's a huge issue. And then they invest very late, if they invest at all. Now, the financially secure Americans increase income intentionally. They control fixed costs. They invest automatically, and they think long term. So if you have questions in regards to how to track your net worth as well as cash flow, make sure to head over to capitalizepodcast.com, go under the products section. We have a net worth calculator as well as a cash flow app, so you never miss a single thing in your personal financial plan. Now, also, if you liked this episode and you want a checklist to get you unstuck from feeling broke, head on over to capitalizepodcast.com and download a free copy of my Wealth correction blueprint. It's also going to be in a link in the episode. My team and I have created this checklist of items that once you accomplish all of them, you will be well on your way to becoming unstuck in your financial situation. So that does it for today's episode. As always, I'm your host, Christopher A. Panayiotou, certified financial planning professional, the Cap and Capitalize. And until next time, keep capitalizing. Take care. As always, thank you for joining me today. If you have questions about today's episode or any personal finance questions, please reach out to me at Cap and Capitalize on Instagram, Chris at capitalizeyourfinances.com, or via our website, capitalizepodcast.com. If you want more Capitalize Your Finances content, head on over to capitalizepodcast.com and check out our blog, free resources, book, and online course. As always, I'm your host, Christopher A. Panayiotou, certified financial planning professional, the Cap and Capitalize. And until next time, keep capitalizing.
The information provided should not be considered specific tax, legal, or investment advice and is not specific to any individual's personal circumstances. Each taxpayer should seek independent advice from a tax professional based on his or her individual circumstances. These materials are provided for general information and educational purposes based upon publicly available information from sources believed to be reliable. The information in these materials may change at any time and without notice, and its accuracy cannot be guaranteed. There is no guarantee that any investment strategy will meet its stated objective. All investments involve risk, including potential loss of principal. No stock investment strategy or risk management technique can guarantee return or eliminate risk in all market environments. Investments in real estate may be subject to a higher degree of market risk because of concentration in a specific industry, sector, or geographical sector. 401k benefits may be subject to change at your employer, the governing pension, or benefit organization's discretion. IRA withdrawals will be taxed at ordinary income rates. Withdrawals prior to age 59 and a half may also be subject to a 10% penalty tax. Christopher Panayiotou is a registered representative with and securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Capitalize Your Finances LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial. Capitalize Your Finances is not registered as a broker-dealer or investment advisor. CRPS conferred by College for Financial Planning. LPL Financial California Insurance License number 0518721. LPLIA California Insurance License number 0B91442.